Hello students, welcome back to our channel to VMN Learning. So today we are going to continue our C programming, learning the C programming. Today we are going to talk about module 2. In the module 2 second part, the statements. So what are statements? Statements are nothing but the group of things that to tell a system to execute. A statement is nothing but a part of the program that needs to be executed. Okay, it tells the computer to what action to be taken. Okay, let's say I say let x is equal to 10. So this is a statement where I am telling the system store x in 10. Okay, then I have x is greater than 10. Okay, I am checking if x is greater than 10, then execute these statements within this. Okay, okay. So there are many types of statements, out of which we are going to learn this. This is the first selection statement. Selection statements are nothing but if switch, the ternary operator. Question mark is a ternary operator. We'll study about that. Then we have in iterations, we have while, for, do while, nothing but repetition, right? Repeat. Jump statement, go from one place to another place. We have break, go to, continue, and return. Return, you always use return. Remember in your programs. Return 0 at the end. This is jump statement. And labels. Labels are by default characters that mean specific stuff. Okay, these are case, default, and label. Expression, then we will going to learn about the valid expressions, and then we are going to go to the blocks. Blocks, the whole thing is always going to be written in the block, right? Into main, so return 0. Okay, so these are the types of statements. So let's start with the selection statement. Okay, before going to the selection statements, let's talk about true or false. False. Since C. Okay, or many statements use conditional statements. What are conditional statements? Sorry, conditional expressions. Conditional expressions. Many statements use conditional expressions. What are conditional expressions? X is called greater than 10. We use it, right, in if. Okay, this is a conditional. What is the output of this? It is always going to be a true or false. Okay, so in C, the value 0, okay, is considered as true, and any negative value like 5 plus 5, both are considered as true. This one 0 is considered as false. 0 is considered as false, and any positive or negative numbers, any integers, are considered as true. So all non-zeros are true. Okay, and these are the true and false. Okay, first let's start about selection statements. Selection statements. Okay, selection statements are your if, switch, comma, a ternary operator. Okay, so let's study about if condition. Okay, if what it does, it checks a condition, whether it is true or false. If true, the below code is executed. Okay, If false, then it will go here. Correct? For example, let's say if marks are greater than 35, not equal to, okay, 35 is the passing mark, right? Greater than or equal to 35, the result is pass. And pass. If less than that, do not execute. Okay? Now this is if condition. There's always, with if, we always see there is sometimes there will be a else condition. Okay? Do this or else do this. With this if, what happened? We said within this, whether it is true, then if it is true, execute, or else go there and execute. But sometimes what happens is, for consider our last example, if marks is greater than 35, okay, now it is, for you it is 40%, 40 marks I think. But marks is greater than 35, we say pass, else we have to say fail, right? So same thing, we'll put else condition and say this one. So if marks is greater than equal to 35, pass, okay, else fail. Okay, so this is if and this is if else. Okay, and it always evaluates with this expression. Whether this expression holds true, then it executes this, else it will execute the else part here. Okay, okay, there are many conditions where even if the part, even inside the if condition, I have to check another condition. Okay, for example, let me just say I have to give a person, whoever is passed, I have to give him a distinction. Now consider this is X, else part is fail. Okay, now what I will do, I will say if marks are greater than equal to 75, print F distinction. Okay, if it is greater than 75, then he's got distinction. Otherwise, it will normally it will be a pass. Okay. So this is called, there is an if inside an if, correct? If inside an if, there can be n number of ifs. If this side is if, there can be n number of if, else also will be there. Okay, I can just say here also, I can just say else, pass, correct? So these are called nested ifs. If inside an if inside an if. Okay, these are called nested ifs. Now consider a grading system. Okay, let's see if marks is greater than 90%, then A is your grade. If marks is greater than, okay, 70%, then it is B. Mark is greater than 50%, then it is C. Mark is greater than 35, it is D. Marks is okay, is less than 35, then it is fail. Okay, see how I can write a program to it. Okay, that time what I can do, first let me use the if statement. If m is greater than equal, marks is greater than equal to 90, I will say print f a. I will print a. Okay. Else, that is done, right? We don't need to check all these else. Correct. If more than 90, then done. Else, if, okay, inside if there is again else comes, this is called else if marks is greater than equal to 70, okay, then print B. How this will work? First, let's say marks is 75. It will come here and will check whether 75 is greater than 90. False. It's not. So it will directly come here and else. Now it will check if whether 75 is greater than 70, then it will print B. Okay, it will not going to print A. You are going to print B. Okay. Then again else if the marks is greater than equal to 50, print exactly print f C. Okay. Else similarly this is greater than equal to 35, printf D. Okay. Else if marks is less than 35, only less than, should be less than 35 is pass. Okay, that's why it's equal to here. Then he is fail. Grade, in grade you give F, right? Can you see how the structure look like? If, else if, else if, else if, else if. Consider an example, if person has got 45 marks. What will be printed? First it will come and check here for 45. It is false. For 45, 45 is greater than 70, false. 45 greater than 50, false. 45 greater than 35, true. Then it will print D. Okay, and then it will execute. It will not go next. Consider a person has gotten 25. So it will check for 25 with 90, false. 70, false. 50, false. 35, false. Less than 35, true. Then it will print F. Okay, and this type of structure, when if else, if else, if else, if else, if else structure is called a if else ladder. It looks like ladder, how it is like, right? Ladder will be like that. Ladder. So one if. That's why it is called if else ladder. Now let's talk about it. The ternary operator. Question mark. Okay. This is called a ternary operator. It is nothing but it is also called an if else statement only. It is different parts, similar type of if else statement. Say if condition, okay, then there will be an expression, correct? Else condition, else, if else will be, there will be an expression to execute, correct? Okay. If condition is true, this will execute. If condition is false, this will execute. Now, same thing I can write is condition question mark expression, let's say 1, let's say 2, 1, else expression 2. If this condition is true, then this. If it is false, then this. This is for true, this is for false. Okay, so how can we use another example? Say marks is equal to 50 if m greater than equal to 35, okay, question mark, then print pass, print fail. Okay, this is a conditional statement. That is a ternary operator. This is how ternary operator is. First we write the condition. This. Why is this? If he's writing if else, how many lines it took? It took if statement, else statement, correct? 4 lines it took, right? Here in the single line you can do this. Okay, just to shorten the programming. The conditional operator. Next, let's read about switch statement. Okay, the switch statement. How the switch looks? Switch, here we will write the condition. Okay, condition. Depending on the condition, the cases are written. Case 1. Okay, and then the statements will be there. Okay, then there will be a break. Case 2, statement, break. Similarly, there will be till case n. Whatever the finite number you want it. Okay, then there will be a statement and break, and there will be a default one. So default statement. Okay, now default statement. Okay, switch, there will be a condition, there will be many cases, and there will be a default one, and there will be a break. Okay, to explain this is the structure. I will simply explain this with our. Okay, let's see an example for switch. Okay, let's say how many you have timetables, right? So you want to write a program to print your timetables. Your timetable will be based on weeks, correct? So let's say you have your timetable. Okay, so let's see, take a variable week is equal to some value Tuesday. Okay, now in switch, what I will do is I will write this week here as a condition and case Monday. Is the colon, not the semicolon. Printf Monday's class. Okay, whatever the classes are Monday is printed, and then there will be a break statement. Similarly, case Tuesday, print Tuesday's timetable. Okay, similarly case Wednesday, sorry, let me add break here, print Wednesday's timetable. Case Thursday, Thursday's timetable. Okay, then break. So we have to add break everywhere. Okay, case Fridays. Then there will be a default. The added value is not none of these, then it will go print invalid. Okay, so switch, what happens is it will check, it will match these conditions. Okay, result with a case. If week was here, the week was Tuesday, so it will directly go to Tuesday. We'll execute this and return. Okay, now you understood, right? If the week was Thursday, it would have gone to Thursday and executed this. Okay, it would have printed the Thursday's timetable. Correct. If Friday's timetable. If Saturday's timetable. Okay. Now, why is this break? If let's say break was not there, what would happen for Tuesday? It will print Tuesday, then it will go to Wednesday and print Wednesday also. The switch is structured that way. Once it finds the case, if until unless it gets the break statement, it will continue to execute the next cases statements also. So break is necessary. If break, okay, without this break, it will continue. That's why we need break. Okay, and default. What is default? If nothing is matched, okay, some garbage value we gave, then it will print invalid. This is where the default. Okay, this is how the switch will look like. Correct. See. So for week, it will take whatever. Okay, and by default, this is whatever your choice is. Depending on that, the case will be there. Case, switch, and default are the keywords, and break is also a keyword. Okay, if break is not there, then it will keep on writing. Okay, understood? And this default is optional. Okay, if it is not there, if it is nothing is matched, it will come out. Okay. So if default is not there, if I say, as we have not taken Sunday, if I say Sunday, instead of putting invalid or something, it will not do anything. You will not get any response back. Okay, you understood, right? So, switch evaluates the condition. Depending on the condition, it will print it out. And make sure you have the break here. Otherwise, it will continue. So, if I say if the no breaks are there, okay, for Monday, it will print Monday timetable, Tuesday's timetable, Wednesday's timetable, Thursday's timetable, Friday's timetable. If Saturday is this, Saturday's timetable. It will print all the things. Okay, you have to be very careful. You have to add the breaks. Break is nothing but it will break the execution. And it will move out of the process. It's not just here, it can be used in many places. Not with, it can be used outside the switch also. If in the if statement also, it can use break to move out of the loop. Okay, move out of the critical processes. Okay.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.